Euro 2016 Day 2 tips. Now it's the big day, the biggest day for England fans. It's a day we've all been waiting for. All of that rubbish qualifications out of the way.
Although we were very good in it.
We were good in it, but who cares? Who cares? It was just annoying. It took out Premier League time. Yeah, anyway, this is what it's all for. This game. Are we gonna?
It all comes down to this.
It all comes down to this. Are we gonna mess it up again? Lightly.
Well, we'll get to that game in a bit. Let's go first off.
Albania, Switzerland.
To the bigger game.
Let's go to
the game.
The best game in terms of quality. Albania v Switzerland. Who are the favourites for this one?
Yeah, Group A match. Albania versus Switzerland. The bookies have installed Switzerland as a favourites. Pretty short price, 20 to 23. I think some people would have thought that maybe they'd be actually an even shorter price than that, because Albania aren't really well thought of, and Switzerland have made plenty of these European Championships in the past, whereas this is the first time that Albania are in the European Championships. However, I can see why they are favourites. Of course, Petkovic's side have only lost, have never lost, in 6 meetings against Albania. The odds on, of course, 20 to 23 best price. However, there is a bit of a caveat to that, in that Switzerland have lost 4 of the last 6 games coming into this tournament, which is hardly ideal. Mm-hmm. And some might be actually tempted on the 9-2 with Albania, or a draw at 12-5. So whichever way that you are back in this match, in the full-time result market, make sure that you bet with easy odds. Of course, get the best price possible.
Yeah. Choose
your bet. Find out who's offering the best price, then bet with them. It's pretty simple, really, isn't it, Jake?
What's your recommended bet?
But yeah, my recommended bet for this game is going to be both teams to score. That might come as a bit of a surprise to many of you. Albania had the lowest shot ratio of all 24 teams in qualifying.
It started well.
And only technically scored 7 in their 10 games in qualifying, because they were actually awarded a 3-0 win in that match against Serbia when that drone was flown onto the pitch, and there was an absolute riot. So never a dull moment with Albania, but strangely,
they never score.
well, they weren't scoring until they've actually scored 12 goals now in the last 6 games, an average of 2 a game, of course. That includes goals against the Ukraine and Austria, two teams that I actually rate better than Switzerland. Mm-hmm. And to add to this, Switzerland have kept no clean sheets in their last 6 games. So I can actually see both teams scoring here. I see no reason why Albania can't score, especially when you consider that in their last match, Switzerland actually letting a goal to Moldova, who are nowhere near as good a team as Albania are. Yeah. Albania, on paper, you think, oh, they're a pretty poor team, but they've beaten Portugal in Portugal.
Yeah.
In qualifying. Granted, it was only a 1-0 win, but a win's a win, and they're not to be completely dismissed. And I think both teams to score here. Best price is 6-4, and that's a really good price. 6-4, both teams to score is my recommended bet on that game. Yeah. And a little that's my recommended bet, but also a kind of an eagle eye kind of pick for this game is Xherdan Shaqiri to score. He was the top scorer for them in qualifying. No man had scored more goals for the Switzerland national team than Shaqiri in his 23-man squad. Best price 13-2 to score first in this match. Okay. Worst price 11-2, again proving why you would use easy odds.
13-2 is a pretty good price, Shaqiri. He didn't score that many for Stoke, did he? But I mean, in terms of this game, it's probably he is the best player. But yeah, I remember when it was the World Cup and everyone was fancying Switzerland to do quite well. They did alright, but I don't fancy him either. I don't like him in this at all. I agree with you. Next up, we got Slovakia v Wales in our group.
Yeah, Group B. But
yeah,
2 of the teams that aren't necessarily fancied. I think they're the 3rd and 4th favourites in the group. So they're both the outsiders. This could be absolutely key, really. Both teams will probably look at this game and be, this is the game that we're going to try and win to the absolute maximum, as both teams will fancy it. And the bookies completely agree. They cannot make a choice as to who's the favourite here, Jake. They actually make Slovakia and Wales 19-10. Both of them exactly 19 to
quite rare.
To 10, which is pretty rare. And the draw, of course, at 12-5 is pretty a generous price for a draw. Mm-hmm. But actually, I'm quite surprised that Wales are the same price as Slovakia coming into this game. On form, there's only one favourite here, and that's Slovakia. Slovakia are unbeaten in 8 games, including victories against Germany and Switzerland. Wales have limped into the European Championships so far. They've actually picked up just 1 win in the last 7 and got thumped 3-0 last week by Sweden. So I don't really understand how they're the same price as Slovakia to win this game. So I would avoid the Wales price at 19 to 10, and Slovakia I think is actually a pretty decent price at 19 to 10.
Okay.
However, for my actual tips here, I'm going to go for Gareth Bale to score, and it's just the reason that he is absolutely everything to this team. The last 4 matches in particular have been really bad for Wales, and he's only played 20 minutes of action in those 4 games, and it's absolutely no coincidence. He is the absolute key player to them. He scored 7 of the 11 goals in qualifying. He set up 2 of the others, so he actually only wasn't involved in 2 of the goals scored in qualifying, which he's just absolutely pivotal to them.
He was quality at the end of the season.
He was quality at the end of the season. They didn't bring him in to the Wales setup after that Champions League too soon. I think he got a bit of a rest, and he only played 20 odd minutes in that match against Sweden. So he should be pretty much raring to go in this game. And he's the man. If you think Wales are going to score, he's the man that's going to get the goal. He takes set pieces. He's a decent free kick taker. He'll take penalties, and there's every chance that he could win a penalty with his kind of dribbling skill that he's got. So 37 to 20 on him to score here. I think it's a decent price up against a Slovakia team that have only kept 2 clean sheets in the last 8 games.
37 to 20.
Yeah, pretty decent price.
That's decent. Not as decent as, what was it, 6 to 5, 6 to 4 that he'd be top goal scorer?
He was 6 to 5. Yeah, I tipped him in my team betting preview earlier this month. He's now down to 10 to 11, showing that the bookies probably got that one wrong.
Yeah, definitely. 6 to 5, that's mental. I didn't even bet it either. I didn't put my mortgage on it, I forgot.
Oh well.
Yeah. Okay.
But at least the house safe.
Yeah. But now, okay, we've gone through all these, other games that are kind of exciting, or maybe the Wales game might be nice to watch, see Gareth Bale do a good run, or, a goal maybe.
Hopefully a goal.
And then we've got now England v Russia. England finally playing in the European Championships.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, it's going to be very stressful. I'm going to be nervous before the game. I'll probably have 4 or 5 pints maybe, at least before the game.
8 o'clock start, isn't it? So yeah,
it's going to be mad in England, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
We're going to draw 0-0.
Well, here's hoping that we don't draw 0-0. But yeah, another Group B game up against Russia. Bookies have installed England as the favourites. Best price 23 to 25, almost even money. I think that's actually a very, very good price. We had a really perfect record in qualifying. We won all 10 games, finished with 30 points, and we followed up that impressive form with 5 wins out of 7 in our friendlies, only losing to Holland and Spain. Mm-hmm. So a shade short of evens at 23 to 25 looks a pretty decent price. However, if you're a Scotland fan, I'm sure that you'll be interested to know what price Russia are, as I'm sure Scotland fans will be backing whoever's playing England in this tournament. And Russia are actually a surprisingly big price at 4 to 1. When a team is 23 to 25, I wouldn't expect the other team to be 4 to 1. I think that's a pretty expansive price for Russia. I personally don't think that Russia will win the game, but if you do fancy them, I think 4 to 1 is a pretty big price actually. Mm-hmm. But for my recommended bet, I'm going to go. I just think England are a good price at 23 to 25. I think that's an absolutely fine bet. Russia came into qualifying pretty well. They changed manager, of course. Fabio Capello was shifted out, and they brought in Leonid Slutsky, who's done really, really well for them. But the key for them is that their midfield 3, Jagoev, Shirikov and Denisov, all out injured, going to be difficult to replace. So I think that with our kind of hard-working and also kind of attack-minded midfield, that we can actually play through that middle now, now that the 3 mainstays in the Russian midfield have been taken out. Russia have conceded 4 to France, 3 to Croatia and 2 to Czech Republic in the last 6 games, so defensively they're not looking particularly sound. And of course, England's main asset now is goals.
Yeah.
We tend to always score a goal, at least one. So I think that eventually we're going to get too much for Russia, and we're going to win the game. And fortunately for us as well, we showed a bit more defensive stability against Portugal, albeit against 10 men after that Stupid tackle from Bruno Alves.
That was just what was he thinking? What was he thinking doing that? I remember.
Fair play to Harry Kane as well, for just getting up and trying to carry on the game.
I read something about how he should have gone down. How we should teach players to go down more. Oh man, it made me so angry.
Yeah.
Like it was such a good thing that he stayed up and it was just like, yeah,
carry on.
So what? Beat me in the head as much as you want.
Let the ref do his job.
Yeah, exactly. But he got a red card anyway, so he didn't need to go down because he got a red card anyway. So what do they expect? What do they want?
Absolutely. Talking of Harry Kane, in qualifying we did really well, of course, and he was one of the reasons why. And actually, on average, we hit an average of 88% of our shots were actually on target.
Okay.
So, attacking wise, we're going to be pretty clinical, hopefully, especially looking at that stat from qualifying.
Yep.
So if we get chances, which I think we will against this Russian team that are struggling, they've only won 1 in the last 7. I think 23 to 25 is actually a really good price for England to win this game.
Yeah. Now, I actually have a little tip for this game as well.
This is what we've all been waiting for.
I'm not known for my football exploits, but I got 8 out of 10 in the Football League tips on my go in last season.
Absolutely.
Actually backed an accumulator in it as well, 5-fold, won 500 quid.
Happy days.
So, don't know how much you're going to be. I don't think you'll be able to win 500 quid off of my tip. But my tip is Rooney Anytime. Currently, best price of 11 to 5, which is pretty good, I think.
Yep.
I mean, it's unlikely.
He'll start.
He'll definitely start. I think it's unlikely they're going to play him in this holding role, whatever. You know, like with Dior, but that would just be a bit weird. I think he's either going to be behind the Kane up front, or he might be if they do 4-3-3, he might be a little wing player. But I think he's going to be start up front. He scored 7 in a row in qualifying.
Yep.
He was really good for United at the back end of the season. He was very good against Australia, I thought, as well.
Yep. And he played up front.
And he played up front then, and he scored as well.
Scorching goal, wasn't it?
Really, really good goal. I think he just seems different for this tournament compared to other tournaments. He doesn't seem angry or, you know, I think he seems like a real good in like a captain's mood.
Yeah.
I think he's going to do well this tournament. I haven't been his biggest fan for a while now. I've been slagging him off quite a bit on Twitter, but I mean, he has been good recently, and he showed a bit of his old spark. And yeah, he scored a nice cruncher, as I like to call it.
It was a cruncher.
An absolute cruncher against Australia. Classic Rooney goal. Just smash it in the top corner as hard as you can.
Yep.
So hopefully you can score one of them. 11 to 5, Rooney Anytime.
So there you go. We've got 4 tips there. 3 from me, 1 and 1 from Jake. We'll just run through them again for you. In the Albania-Switzerland game, we've got both teams to score at 6 to 4, which I think is a very, very good price. Slovakia v Wales, we've got Gareth Bale to score at any time, 37 to 20. And finally, in the 8 PM game, we've got England v Russia, and we've got Rooney Anytime with Jake Johns, and England to win. I'm sure that you can combine that in the same market.
You definitely can.
So make sure that you check that out and find the best price using easyodds.com. So once again, thanks very much for watching. Make sure that you download the app to get every single one of my tips in a daily fashion now, with the matches coming thick and fast, and also to check out the desktop version where we've not just got Euro 2016 odds, we've got all kinds of odds from Jake's horse racing odds and tips to Big Brother, which started yesterday, so I'm really excited about that. So
I didn't watch it. I forgot.
You missed out. So thanks very much for watching. Make sure that you tune in tomorrow for our tips for day 3, and make sure that you hit that subscribe button above Jake's head to make sure that you get these straight into your YouTube channel. So thanks very much. I'm Ross Casey, this is Jake Johns, and this has been Easy Odds Day 2 tips for the Euro 2016.
Bye.